After you've chosen your animal, you will be given a square that matches the styrofoam that we'll be using for this project later. I here am either measuring mine or tracing it to create my outline square border, but you guys will just be given the square piece of paper that you'll be using to draw. If you would like to measure out in your sketchbook ahead of time so that you can do some practice drawings, then you're going to want that square to be 4.5 on one side and 6 inches on the other side. When choosing a jungle animal, there are a lot of how to draws that I put within Google Classroom if you'd like to check those out. If not, you can look up the different jungle animals that we have presented in our presentation about Henry Rousseau, or you can just choose your own jungle animal if you can think of some additionals. The first thing I need you to do is create a border. So you can grab a ruler and you want your border to be about a pencil width thick. So we're going to be filling these up with designs. In the written directions, it says that for step 2, after you create your border, is to fill your things up with designs. I chose to do my animal first and then go back and do my frame designs, but it's up to you how you'd like to work. As you're sketching out your animal, you want to consider that we want nice clean lines. I tend to draw kind of scratchy and then afterwards needed to go back and clean my lines up a little bit. I made my animal a little bit large and it hit my border. So you have 2 options when that happens. You want to either consider putting your animal behind your border, so your border sits out in front like a picture frame, or you can do what's called breaking the frame. So my animal in some pieces came forward and sat in front of my border, and in other areas I had it sit behind my border. You want to make sure that you don't have too many really tiny, super detailed areas of your work. We do want to keep these sort of simple, but you want your animal to be big. You need it to fill your space in order to have a good print when we're finished. Putting your animal in what we call a dynamic pose, or keeping it a little bit more interesting. So I have my animal turned a little bit to look at me. In the written example, the frog in those pictures are turned on a diagonal, so it looks a little bit more interesting. But either way, you want to make sure that you are filling your space with your animal. Once your animal is done, and if you did not already, then you're going to design some just fun designs around your frame. Remember, we don't want too really small, intricate details. Try to keep it as simple as possible. If you're working in your sketchbook and you like this copy, then you may cut it out to use it for the next step. But if you are using one of the pre-cut rectangles that I passed out, then you are just ready to put your name and class code on the back, tuck it in your sketchbook, and we will move on.